Hi Virgo, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I am Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in today's reading for you. Thank you so much for joining me, for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through the cards that come out in today's reading. So the first card we have is the Ace of Cups. We have some water sign energy with this. You could be dealing with a Cancer or a Pisces or even a Scorpio. And we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. And we have the Two of Swords also in the reverse. But at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Cups. So this Ace of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of new love. This also feels like an energy of being open. And especially emotionally opening up in this connection. I do feel like there's a sense of actually also acknowledging feelings and kind of feelings growing in this connection and blossoming. With this Ace of Cups showing up over here, it does feel like their feelings are even overflowing when it comes to being in a space where what they are feeling is something that they are experiencing as something they're ready to be able to express to you. I do feel like there's even a sense of a lot of unexpressed affection or love that they feel ready to be able to get out and be able to express to you. But this Ace of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of a renewal. So it also feels like a connection that's already been there, so being one that feels like this sense of renewal at this time. Do you feel like with this Ace of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like a romantic energy, and romantic stirring in this connection being something that's also happening, that someone has been kind of holding back and is in a space where it's like they are ready to be able to explore that, also kind of express that. Do you get that with this Ace of Cups showing up over here? This does feel like their heart is opening, and they are even beginning to experience this feeling of falling for you in this connection, or experiencing a refreshing kind of emotional shift in this connection, with this card also being one that shows renewal in this connection, especially the emotional connection. So I do feel like there are a lot of feelings that are present when it comes to this person feels towards you. Do you get that with the Four of Swords showing up in the reverse? This does feel like an energy of being in a space where maybe feeling tired of kind of the holding back in this connection, and you may want to either see progress in this connection or even peace, and maybe kind of seeking that or looking for that, wanting that, and that soon in this connection with this person. Do you feel like you do have feelings towards this person with this Four of Swords showing up over here in the reverse? It does feel like the feelings are very real, the feelings are very present. It even feels like those feelings kind of being something that is coming back up in this connection. Feels like a renewal in this connection when it comes to the emotional connection or even the romantic connection between the two of you. It does also feel like there's been a sense of actually reflecting on this connection and where things are and the way it's making you feel. And it does feel like a lot of your feelings kind of those very real feelings kind of surfacing in this connection towards this person. So with this Two of Swords showing up over here in the reverse, it does feel like an energy of being in a space where somebody may have felt torn in the past, and especially feeling torn between staying safe, holding back, and opening their hearts But with this card showing up in the reverse, this does feel like they're moving out of that stuck kind of a place and are in a space where they are ready to express themselves. They're ready to be able to kind of commit to expressing what they want and being able to provide clarity. Do you feel like this feels like the end of a confusing period in this connection as well? It feels like clarity being brought back to the situation. With this Two of Cups showing up in the Two of Swords, showing up in the reverse, this also feels like this person being ready to be able to actually take action towards you in this connection. So you can expect subtle but very meaningful action from them, and even communication from them. With the Nine of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where there's a lot of satisfaction on an emotional level. It feels like emotional contentment. So feel like being in a space where there's a sense of feeling very lucky to have this connection. It feels like there's a lot of gratitude. And I do also feel like there's a sense of actually being able to have a very joyful and peaceful and even loving connection or even reconnection. With this Four of Swords, there could be a reconnection as well, but it does feel like it is one that is rooted in deep emotional alignment and even joy, with the Nine of Cups showing up over here. And do you feel like with this Nine of Cups showing up over here, this also feels like this connection also being one that's very fulfilling for the both of you. So I am going to clarify these cards. We have Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. And the Nine of Swords in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Wands. So the Queen of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually being in connection with somebody who has a lot and deep care for you. I do feel like with the Ace of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like them catching feelings. But with the Queen of Cups showing up over here, this also feels like them having a lot of care for you already. And this does also feel like this person being... this person does see you as someone that is emotionally significant, and they have a strong emotional connection that they do recognize with you. You do feel like they also feel very emotionally safe in this connection with you, with the Queen of Cups showing up over here. But with the King of Cups also showing up over here, this does feel like there is a desire for being able to have an emotionally centered kind of a connection, where there is a deep connection that feels like it is one that is so deeply meaningful, instead of being something that does feel like it is something fleeting. There's a desire for it to have something that is rooted in something real. And with this King of Cups showing up over here, it does feel like having a strong emotional connection that's more than just a emotional fix. It feels like there's something very real and meaningful here. But with this Nine of Swords showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of having the clarity that you need to be able to actually have your mind be put at ease in this connection with this person. Especially with the Two of Swords showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of having clarity being brought into the situation with this person. I do feel like with the Nine of Swords showing up in the reverse, this does feel like the coming of clarity in this connection. And I do feel like this person kind of being in a space where it's like they are relieving a lot of your stress or your worries in this connection. I do get that with this Nine of Swords showing up in the reverse. It also feels like this clarity being one that's also connected to emotional healing in this connection. I do feel like there is a sense of having communication that's coming in soon, or something that this person is doing that's happening soon. It does feel like it is making things feel even more emotionally safe in this connection with them. And this does also feel like it's taking away a lot of the fears or the stress or the worry. And it does also feel like, especially when it comes to any of the worries surrounding things like vulnerability in a connection with someone. So I am going to clarify these cards. We've got It Is Safe For You To Love. We also have Retreat and Forgiving and Learning. So with this It Is Safe For You To Love card showing up over here, this does feel like having a lot of caring energy in this connection. I do get that this person cares a lot about you. I do feel like they care very deeply for you. And with this It Is Safe For You To Love card showing up over here, this also feels like them kind of being in a space where they are being more open to the idea of being able to let themselves be loved and to also give love in this connection. I do get that with this Retreat card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being able to maintain a sense of balance when it comes to trying to hold this connection and even yourself together within this connection, and also making space for things like your emotional stillness in this connection with this person or even within yourself. I do feel like with this Retreat card showing up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to have that balance and being able to have, especially with this Four of Swords card showing up in the reverse, that being something that is allowing for being able to have a sense of being in a space where it's like you're able to thrive in your sense of self and without feeling burnt out in this connection or where things are at. I do feel like with this forgiving and learning card showing up over here, this and getting it pertaining to this Two of Swords show up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of kind of being in a space where somebody is in really opening their hearts. I do feel like they're releasing and healing something from the past. And when it comes to also getting to the space, it does feel like it may be happening slowly, but I do get them being quite open with you, and not being reactive. It does feel like an open energy. It also feels like having a heart-to-heart kind of communication from this person, or even apology coming from this person. You do get that with this forgiving and learning card showing up over here. This also feels like an energy of being in a space where this person has a lot of care for you. I do feel like this person kind of being in a space where they are kind of being able to slowly but surely let go of past limitations or things that may have felt like they were holding them back, or even the limiting beliefs in this connection with you, because I do feel like this person has a lot of care for you, but I do feel like any kind of fear or hesitation is more so rooted in past traumas or even past experiences and kind of fear of that. With the Two of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually thinking about the next steps for this connection and wanting to make plans for the next step in this connection. And do feel like a lot of those plans for the next steps in this connection is something that's going to matter quite a lot to this connection and its direction. And with the Two of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of actually thinking quite seriously about the future of this connection, and wanting and being able to envision you and this person is future together. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Virgo, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Virgo.